Alright, this is a product review of the Garmin Heart Rate Monitor Pro. I've had this for roughly 2 weeks now. I've tested it out on normal training runs. I've done a couple of races with it now. And I've really enjoyed this heart rate monitor to get more of an accurate heart rate reading while I'm doing a run or any type of activity in general. Just to keep my heart rate monitored a little bit better, because your watch monitors aren't the greatest. I'm not saying that they're off by 20-30 beats, but they might be off 4 or 5, which could really make a difference between what zones you're hitting if you're doing heart rate zone training. So you definitely want to check out a heart rate monitor, chest strap type monitor, to get a more accurate reading. And I'll tell you what, this one, of course I got it because I'm a Garmin fan and I support Garmin products. It's very comfortable. You really don't notice it's on you after a couple seconds. Every time I put it on, I'm like, all right, whatever, it's a little bit tight. Then like 5 seconds later, I don't even notice it anymore. I do like to keep things tight, and I did have to adjust this. It did take 2 or 3 runs to actually adjust this to the right tightness. I did have it way too tight the first couple ones. I just wanted to slowly loosen it up and see how the band was going to stretch as well during a run once it got wet and a little bit moist. But now I found the perfect tightness, and I'll tell you what, again, you do not notice it at all on you. It's not heavy. It may weigh 4 or 5 ounces total, but when it's wrapped around your body, the distribution of the weight, it's so minute you don't even notice it. Now on the back, there's a little care instructions right there. I might actually try to rip that off at some point. Of course, you just want to hand wash this. You don't want to put it in a washing machine. And these are like 2 of the sensor monitor things here. Then you got your main sensor there. And it's really easy to use. See this little clip thing here? It's got that open end. You just slide it in. And what's nice is that little care instruction flap. See that? Then you don't have to worry about that metal part. Whereas if it wasn't there, well, I guess the metal really wouldn't rub you at all either, because the strap itself is double layered over. But it's just a little another extra protection there that the top part won't dig in, depending on your body size. If you're a little bit skinnier, a little bit bigger, it might dig into you a little bit if that flap wasn't there. So you really probably shouldn't rip it off, even though I still might. But again, this is a way more accurate reading than a watch will show you. Now, whether you're exercising, to get healthy, if you're, trying to go for a PR, increasing your stamina, whatever, just doing normal heart rate training, or just trying to be cognizant of where your heart rate is during exercise so you don't have any kind of issues or lingering problems, or maybe you are having some issues and you want to monitor your heart rate in general, this is going to be way more accurate than your heart rate monitor on your watch. It'll give you a lot more readings of what's actually going on. So it's also a peace of mind as well. I never took it off yet. I was going to do it real quick, but whatever. One thing I will say is when you upload an activity to Garmin, it doesn't just give you your heart rate. It gives you like 5 or 6 different data points as well. I didn't really look into this too much before I got this, so I didn't know what I was really getting myself into as far as new data collection. But on top of heart rate monitoring more accurately, it does your stride length, it does your body oscillation, vertical oscillation. It's able to read your respirations per minute. I think it's, I forget how they put it, RPBM or something like that. I forget what the 4 letters are that they actually use, but you get a bunch of different data screens. So if you want to know how your running efficiency is. This is another big, huge tool to use to figure out how efficiently you are running with that vertical oscillation. If you're saying like upright and it's measuring your torso movement. So what that means, so if I'm like throwing my arms all around, twisting side to side, this is going to pick it up and it's going to tell me that I'm not running as efficiently. It'll give me basically step-by-step data, how much I'm twisting or how much my body's going up and down or side to side. And that's important so you can lock it in a little bit more. So instead of doing that, you start to get that more in that shoulder straightness that makes you run more efficient. It's going to save you energy. It's going to let you run faster and longer. So that's why those datas are actually going to be really awesome for me going forward as I look more into it and how it's going to actually help me. Even though right now it does say I'm usually in the 80 to 95 percentile or above, depending on the type of run I'm doing. I've noticed that some of my slower runs I might get a little bit more sloppier than the speedy runs. So I got to clean that up a little bit. But also, the screen that really interests me right now is how I'm landing on my foot, whether I'm landing more on my right foot or my left foot. Again, sometimes I'm pretty even. Sometimes maybe my left foot is maybe a percentage more. So that's going to help me run a little bit more efficient down the road. But of course, that also depends on the type of terrain. I noticed normal road running, where I'm actually running facing traffic, my left foot is actually going to be on the ground a little bit more than my right foot, just because of the camber of the road. Whereas the other day when I did some more road trail, actually it was on the opposite side. It did even out a little bit more, and then in some instances, the right foot was on the ground a little bit more. So just a different metric, data metric that you can clean up your running efficiency a little bit more, and it will improve you down the road if you want to get faster, or if you just want to track how much more economic you're becoming as a runner on top of your heart rate training in general. Because I know that's one of the big things right now is people want to do heart rate training, and you're always worried about your zones, what zone you're in. Well, this is going to actually help you figure out what zone you're actually in, and give you a more actual correct reading what your zones are than a watch. Your watch is going to be off a little bit, so it's going to throw your zones off. So maybe you're dipping into zone 3 according to your watch, but you're actually in zone 2. So that's going to be a big help for you instead of trying to lower your times and keep it lower and lower, and you're just getting aggravated because you can't dip into zone 2, where you're actually maybe in zone 2 because of the more accurate reading, or it might be reversed. Maybe you're in zone 4 when you should be in zone 3, or maybe you're redlining when you think you're doing a tempo run. So vice versa. It's just one of those tools that I would pick up. They're about $100 right now. I've seen them anywhere from 90 to 130, depending on where you shop. But you can shop around and get them for about $100. This will not hurt you at all when it comes to running. This is one of those purchases that's only going to benefit you. And once you get using it, you're going to be very thankful that you do have it, and you can look at those other new metrics that your watch or your phone doesn't use. Now, the only downfall is Bluetooth. So I don't know. I got to check it yet. I did a little bit of testing, but I haven't got the right answer. I got to look it up yet. I'm not sure if you have to have Bluetooth on your phone or on your watch turned on during the activity to get the data, or if it can be off and then just turn it on when you upload it. I'm not sure about that, but I think you have to have Bluetooth on during the whole activity to actually get the correct data Obviously, the heart rate you do if you want it showing up on your watch. If you have turned Bluetooth on your watch, it will give you an accurate data during the activity. What I'm saying is if you have Bluetooth off, I don't know if it'll correct the data once you upload it. That's what I'm not sure of, but I just turn Bluetooth on just to make sure I have the correct data, and I get all those data screens uploaded correctly, and I don't miss 5-10 minutes because I forgot to do it, even though one day I did do that. And it was a very quick and easy process to sync this. I just turned Bluetooth on my phone, hit Garmin Connect, and connected it that way real quick. It took me about 2 minutes, and that was it. So it's a very easy tool to sync to your phone and your watch. Watch was the same way. I just had to turn Bluetooth on my phone, on my watch, scroll down to the add new sensors, and it synced up right away. Battery lasts for about a year or so, they say, with like an hour activity each day of the year. So it's going to last you pretty much all year long because you're going to have rest days. So even if you do a couple of longer runs or shorter days, it should last you about a year. Again, it's comfortable. You're just going to have to hand wash this once in a while because you don't want it to build up with salt or just get some nasty old dry skin on this, or have a bunch of old sweat or start to smell, because then it will start to chafe you or rub you a little bit. And that's one of the things I didn't notice, that it rubbed or chafed me at all after I got the proper tightness. The first day it did a little bit, again because it was too tight, and I do twist a little bit too much in my torso, so it did rub a little bit. But after I loosened it up and got the proper tightness where it's not making it hard to breathe, but it's also not falling off of me as I'm running, and it seemed to work pretty perfectly. So check it out, and I definitely recommend the Garmin Heart Rate Monitor Pro, and I think you will be very grateful in this purchase and all the new data that will make you a better runner for sure.